Hey everyone. Well, that was a week. That was a strange and messed up week. Not fun at all. Really didn't enjoy it. I've got a little list here to keep me on track, so I'll just tell you about what happened. So, coming into last week, I didn't feel great. I didn't feel myself. And for those of you out there that genuinely suffer with anxiety, not this thing where people are like, oh, I don't feel great, I must be depressed or I'm unhappy. Genuine anxiety where your brain is completely just doing its own thing and you can feel it just pop, 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 with lots of things that it's like looking at one of those magic eye pictures where it's all the white dots and little black dots pop in, and as fast as you look at them you can't focus, and that's what's going on in my head when I'm having what I call a blip. Now, a lot of it is heavily driven by the current sort of situation with COVID-19, the restrictions. I'm missing my family. I'm missing my own time. I'm missing the time that I used to have where my wife would take the children away for a couple of days, multiple times a year, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. She would take them down to Galway to see her sister. I am really missing that time just for me, because for as long as I can remember, and especially since becoming a dad, I put everyone before me. I never sit down and just stop and completely switch off and focus on what I need. A lot of the time when I do stop and sit down, I'm sitting there thinking, right, maybe my girls would like a hot chocolate, maybe my wife would like a cup of tea. What am I going to be making for dinner tonight? What time do I need to start cooking? And all this is going through my head while I'm possibly sitting and reading my comics and finally taking some time for me. And when my wife takes the girls away, I can't do that. I genuinely have no choice but to look after myself, and I really do treat myself at that point. So I'm missing that. I'm missing my brothers, my sister, my mum, my dad, my family back home in Wales. I can't get there. We're coming up to a year now, which is shit. So there's never a time when that's not going on in my head, but when I'm on track with things, I can cope with it. But off the back of Christmas, and having a lovely Christmas, I was finding it increasingly difficult. And last week, I didn't feel great last weekend. And then coming into sort of working on Monday, I could tell then things just weren't great. They just really weren't great. So Tuesday morning, I started work and my heart just wasn't in it. It really wasn't in it. I'm very driven and quite motivated when it comes to my job. I enjoy my job. It's sort of predominantly gathering numbers and talking to people that want to have a chat, and just checking that they're okay, and if there's anything I can do to help advise to make their job easier, then that's what I do, and that's my job, and I love that. But it's very difficult to do something like that when your own headspace is completely out the window, and you kind of almost need that sort of some TLC yourself. So my heart just really wasn't in it. So Tuesday morning, I'd done a little bit of work. It was incredibly early. The start of last week, I was going through this really strange thing where I was stopping breathing as well. So by the time we got to Tuesday morning, I think it was my 3rd day of waking up and, without randomly stopping breathing while I was sleeping. So strange. I've had it before, but it was doing my head in because it was 3 days in a row now that this had been happening. So I put my work laptop down on the floor in front of me, and this very cup here, which is it's a big cup. The arm was sticking out on my bookshelf, and as I came back, smacked the side of the arm of the arm. What is this? this bit, brains fried today, knocked an entire full cup off the bookshelf onto me. It splashed, I kind of caught it and it went all over my leg, all over the sofa, down the side of the sofa, but like between a bookcase, just missed a load of books, all over the floor. And I just went, that is me this week. I'm not working. I'm taking the time off. That is it. So I was kind of creeping around. So this happened at about 5 in the morning, maybe, yeah, about 5, half 5. I'm creeping around pulling towels that I had just freshly washed from the tumble dryer and using them to clean all the floor, which again was just another trigger point. I was like, come on, you know, spent this time cleaning all these, getting these nice, and I gotta rub it through shit like tea all over the floor. So that really set me off, and you know, putting that all together with no sleep, yeah. So I did get in touch with my manager, and my manager's great with sort of allowances when it comes to sort of mental health and time off, because I always do what needs to be done, and I will only take time out, even if I am feeling awful, I will only take the time out as long as I know it's not going to come at a cost to my team or to my role. So I took a couple of days off, and I kind of floated around. So on that Tuesday, I didn't do any exercise, and on the Wednesday, I didn't do any exercise, and I did a bit of work on the book, and I didn't really look after myself again. But it's tricky because my girls need to be homeschooled right now, so my wife had to go and do work that she needed to do, and so instead of me being able to get up and just switch off and try to get some time to myself, I was helping my girls with their homeschooling. And that, I don't want to sound like a selfish bastard there, I love my girls so much. I love them, like, I can't put into words how much I love them, and I love the time with them. But anyone out there that's, you know, at a point where you're either a bit burnt out or your anxiety's through the roof, you just want to be alone. You need to be alone. And I'm very much, I need to be told by somebody, Carl, you've done enough. We appreciate it. Please take some time out and look after yourself. I have to physically be told that. It's like a vampire being invited into a house. Unless somebody specifically tells me that, I just carry on, and I could just be burnt out, and I'll still carry on. Somebody has to literally tell me, stop, Carl. And my wife tried to, but unfortunately, you know, she needed to work, and the girls needed the help with their schoolwork, and so my wife wasn't there. I have to do it. And it's the same with cooking dinner and things. I love cooking, but I know that if I leave my wife to do the cooking, she's got to do it after she's finished work, which means that you're looking at perhaps, instead of us eating between say 5, 6 o'clock, we wouldn't be eating till much later. And you know, if I'm there and I've got the time, I feel guilty. It's like, well, I can't sit on my ass and leave my wife to be working, homeschooling, and then doing dinner. So for the first sort of, you know, the Tuesday, the day of the great tea incident, and the Wednesday, I still didn't really look after myself. I started to feel a bit more myself on Thursday, but that was, I think, only because I actually got round to doing some exercise. So I did a bit of punch bag, which was just great. It was so good. Problem was though, my anxiety, which can make me just so kind of an asshole, to be honest. I feel like I need to lash out, and as I'm lashing out, I'm actually already feeling really guilty. The punch bag, which did feel good, kind of pumped me a bit, and so I was in a shitty mood again then. I just didn't want anyone around me, so it kind of helped and didn't at the same time. So Thursday was a strange day, and also I knew I was going to be having to sort of log back into work the next day. So I logged in, I was back working yesterday. It wasn't too bad. I mean, I was aware of shit that was going on at work, which was a little bit hectic last week because my colleague had got in touch with me, and I'd also been checking my emails. I really don't mind that. I should switch off completely, but it was a funny week. It wasn't a normal week when it came to work, so it was good that I did actually have an idea of what I was going to be looking into or seeing yesterday morning when I actually logged in and started working, so I didn't mind too much. So I was able to pick up and carry on and do what I needed to do very quickly, so there was no problem there. So yeah, I mean, all in all, it was a funny week. It was a funny week, not great, and I still don't feel great, if I'm honest. I still feel very strange about things. It's like a feeling of claustrophobia of life in general right now, because although I'm a grown up and I can do whatever I want, I still kind of feel that I can't. And I don't know if that makes sense, but with regards to the project, this is really driving me, and it's amazing. I'm so pleased where things are, because when I originally had all of the stories ready for the book to be, edited, I was looking at a mountain of work, and it was very daunting, and I didn't know where I was going to fit this into an already very busy life. And the Christmas break allowed me to make a serious dent in it. I was, bashing out 50 pages a week of editing. So when I knew that once I had passed the halfway mark, then I would coast through the rest of it and be driven. And that's where we're at right now. We're at such a great point. I mean, I've got the transcripts to go through today and over this weekend. That's my goal. Over the next couple of days, I'd like to get the transcripts written up and put into the book. And then I've had another couple of ideas as well about some of the stories which have been shared for the website, actually having like text videos and putting them on YouTube so that people can see them, watch them. And I might do that with some of the stories from the book as well. Just try and get it out there. I think the more links and hashtags that we can have, the more it will draw people to the project and draw people to finding out more about dystonia. And, that can only be a good thing. I think we're all, I think everyone that's got dystonia has got predominantly, although we've all got different forms, we've all got the same issue that nobody has heard of it. And because nobody has heard of it, they hardly take the time to learn about it. And that's probably one of the greatest struggle with this condition. Excuse me. Like one of my other issues this week was that my shakes in my neck since last weekend had been a nightmare, an absolute nightmare, and it was really getting me down. And nobody, and I don't even think my wife understands completely, that maybe not understands, but perhaps sometimes forgets, because I put on a brave face and I carry on and I crack on and do everything that I do, and I am 100% able to do everything that I do. the issue is the level of exhaustion. And yes, I do a lot of keep fit, and I do push myself really, really hard, and perhaps, that isn't going to help my exhaustion. But at the same time, I also know that if I didn't do the exercise and didn't do what I was doing, that I would be much worse, and the exhaustion would be there anyway. I've always maintained I'm really lucky with my dystonia, and I've always said that the fact that I don't have pain, the fact that it's completely here, it's in my neck, and I suffer with it pulling, and I suffer with the head shakes. But other than that, I can do everything. However, it's bloody tiring. It's really tiring. And with the lockdown, it's been great because I've not had to see people. Although we did have somebody come around recently because we've been getting work done on the kitchen, and that there was stuff that needed to be finished. And a combination now of not being used to seeing people and the anxiety of seeing people, my head was going fucking crazy. And people that don't have dystonia or anything similar to this, or don't have even what I would consider mild dystonia, don't understand the psychological implications behind it. It really shouldn't be, but it's damn fucking embarrassing when you're trying to talk to somebody, a complete stranger, and you're constantly holding your head. And I can do the sensory trick to a certain degree. However, when I'm face to face with a stranger or a person, I can't hide it. I just can't. I can hold my neck, but I just look like I'm a lunatic after a while. So it's that's what's driving me with this project. It's really driving me, because people need to know. They need to hear that, and the other reason is people need to know that they're not safe. Like most people with dystonia, 100% having a great old time, working, active, prime of their life. That's if they were lucky enough not to be born with the condition. And it come out of nowhere. Just come out of nowhere, any age. And this is it. People are all, I can't compare it to COVID, obviously, but obviously everyone is afraid of, I don't want to get COVID, and they're keeping away from people and doing their best to isolate. Dystonia doesn't do that. Dystonia creeps up and gets you anywhere, anytime, anyhow, for any part of your body. And this is the sort of tactic, and this is the sort of thing that I'm going to need to use to try and draw people to dystonia. I think a lot of us, and a lot of the dystonia awareness things I see are, I'm not twisted, I've got dystonia, and ask me about my dystonia, and dystonia is not a dinosaur. All these things, yeah, they're good. Gets the word out there. But I think it needs to be shock tactics. I think for it to reach outside of our dystonia community and our dystonia world, we have to show that all those people out there that haven't got it, any one of them can wake up tomorrow with it, and it could happen. And people need to be aware of it. And it's more that the awareness needs to be there because, first of all, for the support of those that do have dystonia and an understanding, so that no more people have to go through the psychological bullshit of thinking it's all in their head because the doctor has told them, or because nobody in their social circle or their friends or family believes there's something wrong. But also for people that start to get it, or think that they've got it, they can see that they're not alone, and that there's other people that are going through the same battle, and that they are mentally sound. There is this genuine issue called dystonia. Makes me cross. Anyway, So yeah, I'm going to get the transcripts done this week, and I'll get the podcast uploaded. And then I've also, as I'm going through the transcripts, there's one from this lovely lady, Jackie, who I'm going to reach out to and check that she's okay with it. And then she recorded her story via WhatsApp. She sent me this big recording of her whole journey, and I would love to be able to also use that as part of a podcast. I'm going to double check as I work through it today and check that it's okay, and see if she would like it to be used as part of a podcast. I'm going to be open here and frank, but I worked on a lot of different projects in the past, and all of my projects have been related to horror and comedy and things like that, and most of the time I write under a pseudonym. And so this is the first project I've ever done which I would say, not only metaphorically but generally, is Carl unmasked. In all of my other projects and media projects and things, I've hidden my identity, and I know that it's been the anxiety speaking, but I had this really strange urge that once I had released the book and once I had done podcasts for a year, I was going to just vanish. And I mean vanish from this side of my life. And I don't know why it is, and I think it's because it's kind of goes hand in hand with what I've mentioned before about my wife sort of taking the girls away a couple of times a year to Galway, that kind of escape. And I think that it's more that I've been so immersed in this for a year, and I've been so immersed for a long time, that probably once I've done the book, I won't vanish. I'll continue this journey. I'll continue doing what I'm doing. But what I probably will do is I'll go on a hiatus. And it's not just for the Warriors of Dystonia project, but I'll go on a bit of a hiatus, I think, for social media and things in general, just to stop. Because maybe that'll give me a bit of a time to reflect on things as well, and also just come up with ideas of where I can take this project. There's a lot of work. I need to get in contact with a lot of people and see what I can do to just spread awareness of what it is that I'm working on, and to draw more attention and awareness to dystonia in general. Today's looking good. Saturday. Had a bit of a strange sleep, one of those ones where I think I was sleeping for like an hour, then I'd wake up briefly, sleep for an hour, and then it was just dream after dream after dream. I can't really remember any dreams, so can't share anything, unfortunately. But yeah, I think today is going to be kind of a chill out day, and we're going to make our own pizzas. We use this cheat pizza, which is you use self-raising flour and a bit of water to make a dough, and it's just a basic dough. And what you do is then you can flatten it out in a frying pan while it's on the hob, so it's cooking underneath, and you put all your toppings on it, and then you put it into the grill to finish off so that it cooks the top, and it tastes exactly like takeaway pizza. So we're going to do that today. Tomorrow I'm going to be going online, hopefully, with my brothers. I'm a big gamer geek, so I will be going online and playing Xbox with my brothers, hopefully. I say hopefully because my power brick that comes with my Xbox decided to break 2 days ago, just shorted, but I have had this Xbox for a long time now. So fingers crossed, and a replacement one is coming from Amazon today. So thanks for watching, and if you want to get in touch, got any questions, or you want to share your story, you want to be on the podcast, or for any reason, if you want to help me maybe share awareness of this project and the upcoming book, please do get in touch with me. And I appreciate all the support, and there's been some nice little pep talks and comments which have kept me going on this. And yeah, I just want to finish up and just to confirm, I am back on track. I'm a lot more myself than I was. So anyway, thank you.